Guys, welcome back to another episode of the BlockHash podcast. Today, we're bringing back on a guest that we had in 2024, Andrew Spira, founder and CEO of Skyecap. He's going to talk a bit more about Skyecap today, give us an update on what they're doing and working on here in 2025, as well as some interesting approaches they might be taking to funding with AI and maybe what direction that could take them in the here in the near future as well. So, Andrew, welcome back, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. How's it going?
Good morning.
How's your year?
Yeah, year's going really well. Off to a flying start. As I said, we're already halfway through February. It seems like time is of the essence and it's flying. But yeah, thanks for having me back on the show again, Brandon. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Pleasure's all mine. What have you been up to lately? Has your focus mainly been on Skyecap or what's
Yeah,
kind of been
Skycap.
on your, yeah,
Yeah, Skycap's been I'm married to my business at the moment, so not much outside of Skycap. We are growing at an astronomical rate. We seem to be growing about 20% month on month, which is pretty cool. And I'm anticipating a big year.
absolutely. It seems like this year is going to be a very optimistic one for a lot of people. Markets seem to be going in the right direction. A lot more optimism just generally. Curious also maybe how Skyecap is starting to evolve as well going into this year, maybe what direction you want to take it or any new focuses you may have for it. So definitely want to chat with you a little bit about that today. I don't know if in the last episode we talked too much into Skyecap, so maybe that's a good place to start a little bit on the company. Do you want to kind of give us an overview once again on what Skyecap is and some of the things that you're working on?
Yeah. So Skycap is a merchant cash advance. So it's a business loan lender. And we pride ourselves on helping small businesses that need funding to bridge a gap, where we fund anywhere from $5 to $100,000 from 4 to 12 months. And our typical customer is a mum and pop business that the bank has either rejected due to lack of paperwork or the bank is taking too long, and we're there to help. So today we started about a year and a half ago, and we've got over 1,000 active customers already, and we've got about 50 million under management. So it's going fairly well and growing pretty rapidly.
Okay, yeah. So you'd say your demographic is mostly like small businesses, SMEs, mom and pops.
Yeah, SMEs turning over under 5 million per annum is our target market. So yeah, mum and pop businesses, family agriculture businesses, transport businesses, cafes, restaurants, tradies a little bit. Tradies are good customers of ours. So yeah, it's really industry agnostic.
Okay, so quite a wide array of different clients and different types of industries and sectors then.
Yeah, we're really flexible. So 9 out of 10 of our customers get approved. We're really open minded.
Is this something that you've taken globally yet, or is this local to Australia?
No, we've just expanded into the UK. So the same business model works in all the Commonwealth countries. So we're going to launch into the UK, the US, Canada, and New Zealand will be last. Um, and I see this being a global business within the next couple of years, writing the same types of loans in different jurisdictions.
Okay, very nice. What do some of the lending products, funding products kind of look like that you guys offer? Like how do they range in terms of like loan sizes, interest rates? Like what do people usually expect when they work with you guys?
Yeah, so interest rates, they start from 1% per month. So we're a couple of more points more expensive than the bank. In terms of what the customers are actually borrowing the funds for, generally it's for wages, stock opportunities, business opportunities, expansion, um, and like a general customer. Sorry, what was what else did you want to know? The general customer is.
Yeah, like loan sizes, interest rates. Are these collateral based, or what needs to be obtained in order
Yeah, so the
to?
unsecured, good question. The unsecured loan size, average loan size is about $35,000, but we get people applying anywhere from 5 to 100,000. It's really it's a real mix of business users, and in terms of the customer is using it for their business.
Okay, got it. And then what does that process kind of look like? Like if someone wanted to start working with you guys at Skyecap and they wanted to get funding for their small business, what are some of those steps that they would take? Obviously, they'd reach out, probably set up a meeting. But what are some like the requirements, the things to do, thresholds?
No, no. So we're an online model. So there's no meeting. There's really no human touch points. We're using AI to underwrite our customers. So basically, the customer's coming in through our initial journey. It's completing a web form. We're then pulling a credit check. We're then moving them onto our bank statement authentication software. We're then pulling their home affairs fraud data. We're then able to underwrite the customer. We have a tiered AI system with a platinum, gold, silver, bronze customer, depending on their risk profile. And we're able to generate a pre-approval in under an hour using this system.
Oh, that's a really convenient actually. That's a very simplified process being able to do it that way.
Yeah, it's simplified. Basically, I've cut ten head count out of my business. So the AI algorithms we're using is 10 wages we don't have to pay. And it also saves a lot of time. Like we're able to underwrite customers in under a minute. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, tell me more about how you guys are leveraging AI because I haven't heard a whole lot about that in the lending side of the industry quite yet in terms of how AI can be applied. Like I've heard a lot of theoretical stuff, but haven't seen it like applied in practice. And then when I found out that you guys were doing that, I thought that was pretty cool. What are some of the things that entail using AI with Skyecap?
Yeah, so I've created like a lending for dummies system. So we've got your platinum customer that fits into X, 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 and X metric. They get this rate and this term. And then we've got the gold customer that fits into this metric and they fit into this rate and this term. And then silver and bronze. So AI is basically looking at the credit score, looking at the daily ending balances in the bank statements, looking at the turnover, um, assessing the customer's risk profile and then giving us a grading. And then we're looking it through, we're doing a final check and we're formally approving the customer. So that's how we're using AI in the business. It's really unique. And the system I've built is actually, I've trademarked it. It's called Loan Flow.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Is it something that was proprietary or something that you?
Proprietary. It took me 3 years
Okay.
to build it. Yeah.
Do you have plans to expand that a bit further, like other areas maybe that you could use AI with Skyecap? The possibilities seem pretty endless these days, especially with making things more efficient, more seamless, customer experience, AI agents being really big.
Yeah, I can see it expanding. Running a business with AI is not as easy as everyone makes out. There still needs to be a human touch point, especially because we're lending money. We're remitting customers money in the hope that they pay us back. So, other areas of the business, maybe customer support down the track. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy with our underwriting system. And I think technologically, we're ahead of our competitors, and I wouldn't want to try and change a working formula at the moment. So yeah, good question. I Down the track, I do see us using AI more, but now I think we're at our sort of max capacity of using it.
Do you imagine maybe using something like an AI agent in the future? Because I know that that's getting really popular, and I imagine throughout the lending space and industry, that's going to be something that's pretty common to interact with the customer and to probably automate some of those processes too.
Our customers are mom and pops. They're not going to want to talk to AI chatbots. They want to talk to a real person. That's our
You have a good
problem.
point.
So I could never really see that changing. They like having a relationship with an inside sales rep or a broker or a BDM. And whether that changes in the next 10 years, it probably will as larger organizations like larger banks get onto using AI chatbots and AI automated messages. I think it'll trickle down into the smaller lenders and the smaller credit providers like myself.
Is there any like credit score threshold that needs to be met? I know with a lot of lenders, it's a big thing when they look at a credit report. Like, are you more forgiving than other lenders and more flexible to people that have lower credit scores or very average scores? Or does that matter too much in your guys's assessment?
We're much more forgiving. We don't have a minimum credit score. Two things that'll completely strike you out straight away is outstanding default judgments on the credit file and outstanding court petitions or court actions on your credit file. If there's any outstanding of any of those two, we can't fund you. But if you've got a low credit score, we're open. Obviously, you won't fit into our platinum matrix, but you might fit into our silver or bronze matrix. So yeah, we're much more open-minded than other credit providers in Australia and the UK.
Outside of the UK and the Commonwealth, where do you potentially want to expand next? Would Europe be like the next logical step, or the US? I'm not quite sure what the laws and regs are kind of like.
I think the US is the next market. I think it's a huge market and still underserviced, like Australia and like UK, like the UK. And I can see us expanding there. I think we'd start off by lending to one particular state and then probably expand our horizons from there. That's what we're looking at doing.
Have you explored any other technologies outside of AI to maybe set you guys apart a bit further? I know that fintech and DeFi have been very popular areas for people to explore and experiment a little bit in the lending space as well. Is that maybe an area that you guys are looking to play around with in the future too? Or
Yeah, we're already playing around with it. So I built my own loan management system, which basically is our source of truth for our customers. So they can go and look at their loan balances, see if they're eligible for more money, see if they're eligible to pay out their loan without any penalty. And on the flip side, for our brokers, they're able to see how much commissions they've earned. They're able to input their leads and input their deals. And it also allows us to track where our deals are at as well internally. So yeah, we are a fintech and we are using tech to um, originate and continue our loan process.
I guess another question I have is, stepping back and kind of looking at this whole industry and looking at, the tech's exponential growth, I think, in terms of being able to really take lending to a different level. Where do you see this kind of evolving over the coming years? And maybe what kind of other opportunities or avenues that could open up for people, especially people that maybe don't have access to this stuff traditionally through traditional banking systems?
Yeah, so in terms of opportunity, there's never been an opportunity like now, which we're heading into an online era completely, and you can run any type of business you want from your computer now. So um, the opportunities are tremendous, and in terms of the lending landscape, I think there's an oversaturation of lenders and brokers in the country, in Australia, in the UK, and the other jurisdictions that we're working in at the moment. And I can see a lot of consolidation coming in the next couple of years. I think the markets are running hot at the moment, but I don't know if that's going to last for much longer. We see the pain in our business. I'll give you some statistics. 1 in 5 customers are behind on their home loans that apply for us. So that's a pretty scary statistic because of the interest rate rise. So I think there's definitely some pain out there, and I think there's a little bit more pain to come. Certainly from what we see in Skyecap, that's very prevalent.
What do you think is driving that statistic? Is that mostly just the general market, people not being able to sustain a job or make enough money to pay off those loans, or is it the loan structure itself being too high, or interest rates?
It's cost of living. I think the inflation is really bad globally at the moment, and the fact that interest rates have jumped 5% in a matter of 2 or 3 years or 2.5 years, it's really affected people. People that were paying 1 or 2 grand a month on their loans are now paying 7 or 8 grand a month, and people that were paying 17 grand a month on their loans. I think my payments went from 17 grand to 40 grand. So there's definitely pain out there at the moment. And I think that's gonna that hasn't fully peaked yet. I think we've still got more of that to come. So in terms of what I'm going to have to do at Skyecap, I think we've just got to keep monitoring the markets, and if any major changes happen, like a recession or even something worse, which is possible, we just tighten up and we lend to sensible deals, I think.
What's interest rates right now like in the UK? And maybe I guess across the Commonwealth too, in places like Australia. And didn't the UK just try and cut rates, or didn't they cut it a little bit
Yeah,
last
we're in
time?
the process of cutting rates now. So I think
Okay.
that's that'll take 6 months for people to start feeling less of the pinch. But the Reserve Bank's at about 5% at the moment. So considering we're at zero point 0.1 during COVID, it's a big jump.
Do you think that trend's going to continue down? They'll continue to cut. It's been an issue in the U.S. because everyone wants the Fed to cut rates in the U.S. and they still haven't done it. And inflation, unfortunately, started to tick up, going away from expectations. So there's a little fear that maybe they won't cut for a while here in the US. I'm just kind of curious if that has any effect on you guys there too.
Absolutely, it has a huge impact. We tend to follow the US, so and our small business owners, they, even though they own their own business, a lot of them live month to month, and I think these interest rate rises really hurt people. So if the Fed starts dropping the rates in the US and then follows suit in Australia and the UK, I think we're going to see less pain in the market and a lot more business.
And what else is on the roadmap for you here this year? Any other things you're working on? Any other projects? I know you're always busy. You just mentioned you had a whole bunch of meetings today. I'm sure you always got something that you're grinding on.
Yeah, Skyecap's we're grinding on. We're about to get an institutional facility into the business, so I think that's going to take up a lot of my time. Currently, I've got 35 employees. I'm anticipating that to go up to 50 to 60 by the middle of this year. So a lot on there, and still running my organization, andrewspira.me. We've got 1,000 people subscribed to that now. And it's just basically helping youths that are going through addiction and mental health issues and how to get back on their feet and overcoming adversity. I've also got my book that I've written, which is available on Amazon, which is Andrew Spira's Guide to Overcoming Adversity. So still working on those projects, but yeah, really knuckling down and working on Skyecap. Skyecap's really starting to take off. So yeah, there's a lot on in the next sort of 6 to 12 months.
Nice. So just
I'd like
focus
to
on
travel as
scaling that up for
well.
now.
Yeah, I'd like to do some traveling as well. Maybe come and see you in Colombia.
Yeah, you should. Or come to the US. I'm going to be in Vegas pretty soon. I'm looking to start moving back there, open up a studio. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Um, so yeah, definitely let me know if you're coming around or not. Have you been able to get out and promote the book a bit more? Like, have you been able to do some events or signing days or anything like that?
Yeah, we did some events locally in Australia, which went well, but a lot of online promotion, sticking to the online models. So yeah, it's done quite well so far.
Awesome. What's it like in Australia right now? I definitely want to go there. I always have. It's just a very long flight.
It's a very long flight. It's a long way from everywhere in Australia. It's good. It's the end of summer. It's starting to cool down. I'm based in Sydney in Double Bay, Australia. It's starting to cool down a little bit, which is good, which is nice. But the beaches are still beautiful. If you want to come in the next couple of months, you're gonna have the time of your life.
Absolutely. I always see these maps of Australia and they say like the majority of the population lives in these places and then the rest of Australia, like the other 90% is like in the US, we look at it as if you go anywhere else other than those main cities, you're pretty much going to die because Australia is just crazy dangerous wildlife and all that stuff. So weird American perspective. I'm sure it's a bit different than that though.
It's a bit different. The major cities are unbelievable and beautiful and safe and clean, but there's a lot of land that's uninhabited, and it's got animals and tribes that have never seen white people before. It's yeah, Australia is a bit of a it's a bit like the Wild West outside of the major cities, particularly in around Northern Territory and Alice Springs. It's very different.
Well, you can definitely be my guide. I'll come and visit you at some point. I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun. It's definitely on my list of things to do. Um, if people want to get in contact with you, again, where's the best place to go do that? If they want to check out the book, the organization, or if they need a loan, they have a small business, they want to get in touch or start something with Skyecap, where are all the places you direct them?
Yeah, so just you can Google the Andrew Spira and I'll come up. The website is andrewspira.me. If anyone needs an unsecured business loan in Australia or the UK, we've got skycap.com.au and skycap.co.uk. And I'm available. My WhatsApp's on the website, so if you want to get in touch with me and have a conversation, feel free.
Andrew, it's always great getting the chat with you, man. I appreciate the update on what you guys are doing lately, and keep me posted as things continue to emerge with Skyecap and some of the other endeavors. And I'm glad to see that it's scaling up really well and really taking off. It's awesome.
Thank you.